Hi, welcome to week one of the practicum. We'll be going over and doing a welcome and getting to know each other a little bit, expectations, and the student handbook. So here's just a little bit about me, and I'm anxious to learn about you. But this is my first year at Avila, so I'm new also, but I'm not new to education. I've been in public education for a total of 22 years, and you can see I've been a teacher, assistant principal, and an ESOL instructional coach. I have spent 11 years at other universities as part of their teacher education programs. And spent 1 year as an English language fellow in Sri Lanka about 6 years ago. Best professional and personal experience of my life, I would say. It was just amazing. I have an interest in teaching multilingual learners, and urban education is my background. And this year I'm teaching the initial practicum course both for you all and for the traditional undergrads, as well as being the Director of Clinical and Field-Based Experiences and the Chair of the School of Education. So I'm getting my feet wet and jumping right in and looking forward to working with all of you. So make sure that you make your video and post it to the discussion board, because I really do want to learn about you and why you're at Avila, what you're teaching or want to teach, and any other just fun information about you. Also, another thing, another way to get to know you is to put a name and a face together. So if you would add your picture and name to the Google Doc, I would appreciate that. I know a lot of you have already completed that, so thank you for that. Course, you'll have the first 8 weeks, we will have weekly assignments, discussion boards, reading, and that sort of thing, more like a traditional course. And then the second 8 weeks, it will be more of your practicum. You will have assignments to do that are strictly related to your hours in your practicum. So we'll go over that in just a few minutes too. So what are the expectations? The course description says that it's a 40-hour field-based experience, and it is, but we know that you're in a little different situation than our traditional undergrads. So to start with, you are in the initial field-based experience. You will also have a mid-level and then a final clinical experience or an internship. And so those are your three main levels of practicum. So in this initial practicum, again, we have to be flexible because you're in different situations. It's not the traditional route that our undergrads are taking. So we know that some of you are traditional practicum students, and in that case, you'll do the traditional visiting a classroom for a full day, 5-6 days a week for time to get your 40 hours in. Or you could do half days, but we really would recommend full days to really immerse you in that classroom and really get an idea of, is this for you? Or maybe you thought you wanted to teach, but maybe it's not. So some of you are already lead teachers and you already have your own classroom. In that case, you'll complete your 40 hours in your classroom. However, you want to have a close contact with your mentor. You'll also want to have hours where you're observing in your mentor's classroom. Maybe you're planning with your mentor. All of those things can count as your hours. Some of you are probably paras in the school that you'll be doing your practicum in. So you can also earn your practicum hours while you're working in the school, but you need to really be careful and look through a different lens. You're looking through the school day from a lens of a teacher or a future teacher. So make sure that you're looking through it that way. If you are not in a school doing more of the traditional route, make sure that you contact your mentor. It's not their job to contact you. Have a schedule of dates when you'll be able to be in the classroom. Make sure those are okay with the mentor. If you are in a school, don't just assume that your mentor knows what you need to do, but explain the practicum to them and really formalize that relationship. They may be a friend of yours, although we would rather have just a colleague. and make it a more formalized relationship. Okay, on to professionalism. Because you are a professional already in the school or are working on becoming a teacher, you are expected to behave in a professional manner. If you're not, it can result in being removed from the course and a failing grade. This also includes making sure you adhere to the dress policy, which I'll talk about in just a minute, and importantly, making sure you only have contact with students, faculty, staff, parents within the school. You're not having those outside relationships with those people, especially the students. So, dress for success. This policy may seem a little stringent, but you are interviewing for a job the minute you step into that school. And so dress has a lot to do that. And you can see what's deemed appropriate here. It's a business casual, and so there's some ideas of what business casual looks like. And here's some things that business casual is not. Okay, it is not t-shirts with logos on them. It's not hats, torn jeans, pajamas, yoga pants. Those are not business casual. Some things to avoid, and you can see those things here. Of course, if you're a PE major, the athletic shoes might be a little bit different, but in general, you're dressing for success. Tattoos, extra piercings, please use your judgment. If you have a lot of tattoos, or if any tattoos are not appropriate for your K-12 students, please cover those. Be conservative in your dress. Again, you're interviewing for a position the day you step in that classroom. There's always what about. Please contact me if you have any specific questions about some of these different things that may come up. One last reminder about professionalism. Make sure that you've looked through your social media and make sure everything is appropriate, because again, when you interview for a position, they will look at your social media. So make sure it is putting you in your best foot forward. I mentioned Part B, and I just wanted to put the Part B assignments here. You can look at the syllabus. It has all of the Part A assignments, but here is what you'll be doing when you're actually in the Part B part of the course. Okay, let's move on then to the Teacher Candidate Handbook. You'll want to read this, and we ask that you sign a paper and you'll submit that saying that you have read through the handbook. But here's just an overview of what it is. First, you need to know what guides us. DESE sets the standards that we have to adhere to. But then the university has its mission and value statement, and also we're responsible for our accrediting body. So AQEP is our accreditor. So we're responsible, and that's kind of where this stems from. So we have several policies and procedures. You'll want to read through all of those. The academic policy, the advising policy, and so on. Attendance, you want to make sure in an online course you're completing all the activities, the discussion boards, the reading. That's all part of your attendance. And it is so vital in these fast-paced courses that you do not get behind. So make sure you are planning good time management and don't get behind in things. Okay. Another policy that we have is course repeating. If you are an undergrad, you have to have a C in everything, but in this course you have to have at least a B. An undergrad student can repeat courses 3 times. If you have to repeat a course or a series of courses and it totals more than 3, then we will dismiss you from the program. Likewise, if you're a graduate, you can only earn 1 C and must have a B in this course, but you can only repeat a course 1 time in the whole program. So you'll really want to keep up on your grades. Next, you move on to teacher candidacy. None of you are at teacher candidacy yet. After you complete this course, then you'll apply for teacher candidacy. You have to have and be accepted into the program by the time you get to your mid-level practicum, or you will not be able to participate in that. So the criteria for being a teacher candidate is right here. You have to have a B or better in this course, receive positive evaluations, have a GPA of 2.75 overall, and a 3.0 in your education courses. And your content courses, that is if you're biology or chemistry or that sort of thing. And again, evidence of good character, positive attitude, dedicated to the teaching profession, based on your professional dispositions. And there's some people who are just wonderful people, but they just don't have the disposition to be a teacher. And so we're looking for some certain dispositions, which we'll get into at a later time. So additional things, if you're an undergrad, you must have a C or better in Comp 1 or 2 and a communication course. If you're a graduate, you either have to have a degree that is closely related to what you're getting your certification in. If not, you must pass a praxis before you can advance to teacher candidacy. So as an undergrad, if you're a biology major and you're getting a biology or science teaching certification, then that's fine. But if you're a biology major and you're getting a middle school language arts certification, you'll need to take that language arts praxis before you can go on to teacher candidacy. Okay, so when you get towards the end, I know you're just beginning, but we want to always think with the end in mind. So these are just some things that you need to do towards the end of your program. You completed graduation audit, and then you're going to apply for certification, and that includes a background check. You have to get at least a C in your final clinical experience. You have to have the grade point average. You have to pass the praxis, and those are all DESE things. So those are things that certification does not happen automatically. You need to apply to the state of Missouri for certification. A lot more will be coming as you get closer, but I just wanted to, again, begin with the end in mind. The praxis I mentioned, that is your content assessment that you will need to pass before you are awarded certification. We ask that you attempt it at least once before you student teach, and hopefully we'll pass it then, but you have to at least attempt it one time. Finally, we ask that you join the Avila School of Education page. There's a lot of ongoing information on that page. Thank you so much. I know this was a quick overview of things, but remember to always ask questions if something wasn't clear or you need some more clarification. Thank you so much for listening.